My check 1 2 1 2.
Who is this? Reign ReMixx finna handle a business.
And that's what we do just for you. Welcome to another episode of In Your Lab with your hip hop culture specialist, Reign ReMixx. We're in the building with our new series, Stranger Than Fiction. Because no matter how much alcohol I drink, we can't make up the events that's going on in our world today. Welcome, and we enjoy
Stranger Than Fiction.
We enjoy moments like this.
I think they knew we was finna come with our new season of In Your Lab.
Yes, they did it all for us. They did.
And here they come with these awesome Stranger Than Fiction. I'm gonna call them subtitles that we run with.
Right. I'm excited to say tonight our special guest is Mel Ross from ShopTalk with Mel, a great podcast that you can see on several platforms. We'll have you guys, we're not new to it, but we definitely like to add the link from our old shows and put them below this show when I get time to do all of that. But let's see who's in the building. Let's get this door open. The spaceship is hoovering. We're expecting some guest hosts to come on in.
Oh, yeah? So what we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about what we've been talking about.
The Stranger Than Fiction thing.
Nah, we ain't been talking about it like that, y'all. But the question is tonight, yay or nay? That's the question. Let's get this party started right now. We in here cooling, maxing, chilling.
Chilling like we don't care who looking.
Let's see. We have our guest in. So let's get that going.
Hey.
Okay then.
Switch the camera on me.
Tonight we'll be talking about what's going on with the entertainment industry. Kanye West has a lot to do with what's going on. This topic tonight. Changed his name to Ye for what I think is reasons like Prince changed his name. And he gets a lot of his movements from Prince, Michael Jackson, a lot of what he knows we can believe because we've heard.
Right.
Because, we don't believe stuff we don't see. Not at all. Welcome, Mel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, man, she got her Youngstown hat on. She ain't playing.
I mean, she knew to wear that all black. We blacked out tonight, right? See?
She ain't playing here.
Hey, that's that synergy.
Okay.
It is so good to see you.
Nah, they did not call each other and say we was gonna wear black. They didn't, y'all.
Or a hat.
Right.
That ain't what happened, man. It's just how it goes. Stranger Than Fiction.
Looking good. So how have you been?
I've been pretty good, thank you. How have you been?
We hanging in there. The same report. We try to stay in touch. We try to watch his show when we can. So this is Mel Ross. She is the host of a show that's been, how many years you've been out here streaming on this World Wide Web?
12.
Wow.
12 years.
1 second.
And like our interview last night, we discussed the many platforms we have the honor to have blessed.
Right.
Where can we see ShopTalk with Mel in the present time today?
You can see me on all socials at ShopTalk with Mel. Also on your favorite podcast, you pick one, just type in ShopTalk with Mel. ShopTalk is one word.
ShopTalk is one word.
ShopTalk.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
So I'm loving it.
Consistency.
We vibing on that same
consistency
thing about platforms and just how, grateful we are for the technology that we're using today. So Mel, also tell us more about ShopTalk. What type of topics do you cover? What's your mission statement? What's the show about?
The mission statement is to encourage, inspire, and motivate others to be the best them.
Best them.
And my slogan is, it's okay to be you, We can agree to disagree. It's all good. Just voice your opinion live. And we talk from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on ShopTalk. So if you don't have I suggest you call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon live.
That's every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Okay. All right.
Okay, so that information is good to know.
Hey, she said on all platforms where podcast is being delivered.
Well, I'm feeling platformish tonight.
Okay.
We really got to start supporting each other more in our community. So we want to put that message out immediately to, support shows, I ain't gonna call them small businesses or nothing like that. We've been around for a long time.
Yes.
I consider you a hip hop culture specialist. So it's a pleasure to have you on the show here in November, Hip Hop History Month. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people that I'm going to be inviting and that are coming along, we can prove our hip hop culture specialists. And knowing, how we grew up, the shows and seeing you in the audience, doing your dancing, all the way up to radio and writing your own book, which we'll talk about that a lot. Tell us about your book. Is it still available?
Yes, it is. It's called How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman, based on all true stories, embellished with a little bit of fiction, just to cover the people that I'm talking about in it. And you can get it on Amazon.com, Balboa Press, and Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
And
Cool.
Mel Ross. So you can still get it. It's still available.
So the show Shop Talk with Mel, is it based around relationships, or is it, what is like your main topics lately? Because I know I watched and I've seen some hot topics.
Yes, hot topics. We talk about the hot topics, the relationship, part of it. That's where everybody kind of gets involved. So it's like I'm leaning toward the relationship part of it, because that's most of my topics are about relationships. It was October was Domestic Violence Month, so we had a few women that was dealing with that and victims of domestic violence, and that was a great show with the guest. The guest was anonymous, obviously for her own protection, because she's still in it after 20 years, and you can catch that on YouTube and on your favorite podcast. You can go back. But on YouTube, you can catch that and listen to it. And that one was called Why I Stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep.
That sounds very interesting.
It's deep. It tells you, she kind of said why she stayed. She tried to get out and she tried to leave several times, but the help that was given was abusing her verbally and making her feel worse, where she kind of just was like, well, I know this. I know this beat down, so I might as well stay here, and I know what's gonna, what not to do and what triggers to push. So she ended up going back, but 20 years, she said she's finally ready to leave though.
Okay, wow. So dealing with real life situations in your community, that's really important too. And so the Declaration of Peace talks about the principle 15, and I just throw these out there every now and then just to keep people, attention focused on the fact that we say it's the hip hop culture, but you're never hearing these words be used.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say celebrating this, but this is how, and I'll jump right into some of our topic. This is how a group of people can get rights. This is a document that can be presented to say, this is how we want to be treated. This is what we are about. This is what we don't allow. And this is what we allow. And I say that because we have this new anti-Semitism, and I don't want to say the word wrong, but look, this is not a word we use every day.
That's that no.
But I think they're saying they're speaking against the Jews. And it's like, how does a group of people get that type of protection where it's laws set in place that if you speak against them, you can be in legal trouble? And, I say that because the African-American community, Black people, however we want to say it, we have not come together. This is the only document. Now, there may be others, because I know the reparations movement might be putting together some paperwork and stuff, but I just wanted to express and compare that to and explain to our viewers that the Hip Hop Declaration of Peace is a kind of document which was presented to United Nations already. It's already in history to get the respect, and get laws started. Because what it takes to get a law, we've learned that on Sesame Street, we've learned that in American schools, bill to law, the lobbyists, everybody's speaking to back behind laws, who gets the final say, where the votes come from, All that stuff is not common knowledge for us, but we need to look at that to understand how can a group of people, and they're calling them the untouchables, but they think this is like some kind of slick game when they're speaking about the Jewish powers that be in the entertainment industry. The untouchables is because they are legally protected. And everything that they do is in contract. So we have people like Dr. Umar, who is not signed to any company, and how he can speak outlandishly and speak against these communities, not against them, speak about them and allow his opinion to flow, as opposed to Kanye and to this present day Kyrie. They are under contract with companies, and they are legally binded to certain situations. So I know that, Mel, you can, kind of relate to the whole hip hop culture, the ups and downs that went through, and just what we see today with the murders. Let's just get to the point. First, let's ask you the main question tonight, which is yay or nay. And you can have no opinion, of course.
I'm always gonna have an opinion.
And I'm excited. Let's talk.
I'm gonna do it both ways. To the name, yay. To the action, nay. And the reason I say that is because I'm with you, where I believe that the name is the same way as the artist formerly known as Prince. And when you sign those contracts, a lot of people are just out there like, yay, I'm just happy to be, ironically, look, no pun intended. Yay, I'm just happy to be out there, in the industry. They finally know me. This is it. And then when you sign that contract, they own the name. So you got to watch that. You got to watch those little pieces. Because even locally, it's like, oh, okay, well, I own the name. And y'all know, like when I first did ShopTalk, I was like, yo, Reign, hold up. This is it. ShopTalk with Mel. You was like, bam, let's do it. Trademark it, done.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know. And me personally, I don't know because I haven't seen Ye's contract, but maybe Kanye is in that contract, and that's why he changed his name. So Kanye West is who's in the contract. But if we are speaking about Ye, all is well. They can't get paid, so he's getting paid off of Ye. So that's just my thoughts. I.e., like Prince, the artist, formerly formerly known as Prince. So you kind of have to look at that. Now that's where my thought was with that. With that.
Okay.
All this abstract stuff. I was done with him with that song. I can't even remember the name of it, where he was like, when you talked about, dudes making and they leave your A for a white girl, and then that's what he did. I was done then.
How did I know that's what song you was talking about?
You don't know. I was like, oh, I'm outdone. Like,
I was tripping too. Like, come on, man. We either making music or you making statements. You don't need a musical platform to make a statement. They got Twitter, Instagram, you know what I mean? You can just get on there and thumbs, handle your business. You got a whole cold track he made. He take his time.
And then bam, there you go. And then when he did with Candace Owens with the White Lives Matter, I looked at that, and to each his own. It didn't bother me because I was done messing with him.
Right.
However, when you put that shirt on, it just negates everything that we worked for, because we know we Black. It's like there will be no need for, all lives matter. That's what we were saying, but there would not be a need for a Black Lives Matter if it truly was that. All lives matter.
Right.
That was my issue there. Then he done went too far when he sat there talking about George Floyd. Like, sir, there is no way you're going to be able to tell me who saw it, who heard it, you know what I mean, who watched it, that's not how he died. Excuse me. And that's the problem that I see, people jumping on the bandwagon. And it's like, oh, okay, the majority said this, so you didn't see or hear what you saw. This is what we said you saw. So now y'all need to jump on this bandwagon. So I was done with him.
Right.
Us as Black people, we're such a forgiving people. I'll say that over and over and over again. And it's like, now you get dogged, slapped in the face 1,000,000 times. Now, dude, he done said something abstract to another race who always stick together and was like, we're not having it. And now you got us split again. That was like, well, he did that because of this. And I'm looking like, dude, for real? Like, when we gonna stick to what we believe instead of sway? And that's the problem, I believe, with our culture. You got other nationalities that'll stick together, and this is what we gonna do, right or wrong. And it's like that, you know, even when you get into the politics, because we know the Republicans, right or wrong, this is what we do. We're gonna stick with you, but we will discipline you in-house. Us, we don't do that. We like, oh no, first we all like, we can't stand him, this cat off the hook, he up, MAGA, love his papa, the whole nine, we're done. But then it was like, oh wait, now they're getting rid of him? Well, he is our statue, he's our person. And then it's like, let's embrace him again. They didn't do that with
Let's bring him back, let's bring him back. We lost sales last quarter, bring him back.
Oh, yeah, because this better not be one of his. It definitely is one of his genius marketing schemes.
You know it is.
That is not the point of view I saw it from, but I believe that his mind, because I always describe Kanye's mind as a wider table than others. And he can actually reach over here and get the ketchup and while he's eating the chicken and also order something. Because he is a Gemini and he can do a lot. Like, you know, even in his interviews, if you've even watched any, I've only watched a few myself, and his music as well, I'm not up to date.
He talk around.
Right? So when you listen to the interviews, he is bringing you at least 2 or 3 different people.
Yeah.
And one, while you're talking to the one him, and not in a mental, like, I'm not calling him what looks crazy, because crazy art or life is art. Art is life. The best art. You know what I'm saying? It's abstract, like you described it. It's kind of very abstract and very contradictory. Because one day you're over here, then the next day you're over there. And
but you can't do that in the name of mental health.
Right.
Okay.
Like, come on, take your meds or be held accountable.
Yeah. And he's being held accountable. And so, like you said, they're stripping him of all of his things and to try to work with that mental capacity, because he said he didn't. I just watched one a couple hours ago where he didn't take the medicine and he didn't receive the diagnosis. And I said, wow, like he was being very open about everything that was going on. He went down through the MAGA hat. I mean, he's doing so much talking lately. It is like a campaign. So do you feel like this is also a distraction as well? And I mean, hey, do we know what they're covering up?
I think he went home and said, oh boy, I done went too far. I got to go back. Where my people at? Please embrace me. So now he backpedaling. That's what I think. And I truly feel, just like I said with Chrisette Michele. Remember, Chrisette Michele did a job. She's an artist. She sang for President Trump. They canceled her immediately.
Yeah, they did.
And then you got Ye, because that's who I'm talking about, okay?
Right. All up in the White House.
Okay, yeah, you're doing your thing and you're playing both sides. But here's the thing: be who you are, but don't sit there and act out and think you're untouchable under the name of mental health. There are people out there truly suffering, and we know there's so many people that have yet to be diagnosed with a mental illness. They haven't, you know, I mean, you be like, oh yeah, they'll change, but they have not been medically diagnosed yet, but it happens. I was somewhere tonight and I heard this brother say, which was amazing. Shout out to you, Shimmy. This is what he said. He said, you don't have to go to the war to have PTSD. Okay.
Okay.
He said, growing up in the hood as a Black man, you need some counseling and you'll have PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome or disorder.
Okay.
So, and I said, you know what? That's deep, because you're right. Most of our people, we don't get counseling because we won't get medically diagnosed. But that's a real PTSD situation, as well as being in the war and coming back from the war, because you don't know if you're going to get killed. You don't know who's going to pull the trigger. You don't know the shortcomings that they have had or may have had growing up. You don't know what they went through. And certain things can be triggers, but we don't get him a pass. But since he got a platform, it's like, oh, okay, this that dude, he's a billionaire. I can do this. I know you guys heard him, because I heard him when he said about Adidas. He was like, I can say whatever I want, and Adidas still won't drop me. They dropped his butt. He was like, oh, let me tell you what happened with the MAGA. Now you want to talk back to the people. I'm done.
That was almost, I don't want to say somebody's name, but that was almost like somebody else we know. Once that happened, he started telling us what's been going on for 100 years. That's how they treat me. They treat us like this. Let me tell y'all what I did. And he was explaining in the interview how he brought in a clip from a pornography, and he showed it to them because he wanted them to see how he felt about what they did by stealing his designs. And so I don't know.
I get that to a certain extent, but come on, don't dog us while you getting hit. Come on. Like, we didn't do it. We didn't steal your design. So don't sit there and dog us and kick us down. Kick who did that to you down. And then you want us to embrace you again. Oh, okay, well, I'm done with all Black people, because that's how I interpreted it.
Right. And that's the thing, is all the different points of views. When it's confusing. When it is. And then because, we've watched this entertainment industry for a long time, since they tell us it's only owned by a few people anyway. So we're seeing what they've been doing. And so it's like, okay, so now NBA needs some likes and clicks and some shares, because they get Kyrie involved, who we know is a great artist. And he even had a movie. So he's even worked with people in Hollywood. And so this is just layman's terms. It's just talking, right? He got a platform. I'm like, he's the perfect one to pick because he's an actor. It's not one of the ones who we don't hear about a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just Kyrie has such a promising career and a following and stuff. And so then now Kyrie's a person. So I'm just saying my first instincts, because we haven't even got into the topic of what's going on now out of Kanye and Kyrie's mouth, which is more religious now. Speaking of who are the Black people and who are the real Jews. See, we're not even getting into the topic that I would like to end with tonight, because it's stranger than fiction, right? Right. Who could write it? That they've taken us through so many emotions. And like I said, then NBA jumps in and says, hey, look over here at us.
That's because the season just started. They need us to watch that game.
And I'm telling you, these corporations ain't making the money like they used to be.
We should boycott
right?
the NBA.
They're not making the money like they used to be. So we got to be very careful about these messages. And they're so good at it, they know what messages to hit. Now that's from one hip hop culture, especially you see the door.
I'm gonna slide this. I'm gonna slide this on everybody. Plus you right here. African Americans don't know their nationality. One, and African Americans spend 1.2 trillion a year on sneakers.
I mean, we're consumers. So we have power. So it's a big moment now. But all right, so Kyrie and Kanye are speaking on Blacks being Hebrews. How do you feel about that topic? Because we're gonna just put it under distraction. Because trust me, I ain't gonna say we know fully who we are. Because Americans, I'm gonna say Americans, I don't know the right word for it, but we're dealing with colonists who name things what they needed to be named that they can speak in their language. They make it so that they can say it. So they'll change a name on something in a heartbeat, as we've seen in history. So is this religious thing another play on our emotions? We knew, what I was trying to get to is that we know who we are. We know we're children of the Most High. We've been saying this since the sun is, we are melanated people. Like, I think I'm gonna just put my bid in. I think it's another pull at the emotional string. Or is this a real movement to wake people up?
Yeah, it's how far are you willing to go with the movement? Like how Kanye got the platform and how far is he willing to go? We can call him crazy. We can allegedly say, well, he just got diagnosed. Well, who knows that? Were you there when he got diagnosed? Wasn't this the media that told us that Kanye was in a crazy house? Now, my homeboy was in a crazy house. This is getting kind of serious. How far are we willing to go with this? And I feel like if it's people with mental issues, people around people who have mental concerns, you should not say nothing. We should speak up. And that's the voice of the people. We're going to stand here and let the little kid keep going to school pissy? No, somebody going to say something. So what happened to social acceptance? This is what's wrong with America. And nobody never said nothing. I can't see. I need glasses. So if I never said nothing, I wouldn't have glasses. You know, I need to drink more water and my diet. That play a role in everything we do as life. So me independently thinking, I'm going to think because of African Americans spend so much money consuming that the best way to get the African Americans' attention is to bother something they're consuming. Bother the Yeezys. Kyrie's is finna drop because the NBA season just started. You know the little boys and girls want to go to school looking for mama can't get the LeBron. I'm getting the Kyrie's. They a little cheaper. They just dropped. Why not? Mm-hmm. Why not bother Kyrie when he was the main one last season? Boycotting the NBA. You remember that? This is not. Yes. This is not went away yet. He has that platform, and how far is he willing to go? Well, here it is, season after season, and he pulling the same stunts. What was the platform not aware that I'm gonna repost something that I feel as if beneficial to my people? Well, you shouldn't have share on your Twitter platform, on your Instagram platform, where I'm gonna take this Amazon link and I'm gonna put it over here. Now everybody can see this awesome movie that I'm finna watch, documentary about Hebrews to Negroes and what happened to my people. Let my people go. Moses died and the boy had his name changed. Y'all don't know nothing. Call Kyrie something else. He must be evolving. They changed West's name to Ye or Ye or whatever y'all want to call it. I'm gonna call him Black African American. That's what I'm gonna call him. You don't need to call him Kanye
a rapper. I'm gonna call him.
That's what they calling him. They calling him the rapper. That's what they call him. Kanye West, the rapper. Okay.
Right.
Here's the thing.
Off the chain.
We need to educate ourselves. And I'm gonna spin it back. Let's rewind it a little bit because I see where they're comparing Kyrie, Ye, and Colin Kaepernick. Here's the difference. Colin did it way back, like eye opener.
Right.
Blackballed like a mug. Okay.
Right. Still to this day, can't get a job.
And watch this. He ain't say a single word.
He ain't said. He took a knee.
He took a knee. The utmost respect. He bowed down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that should tell you the power that we have. Mm. You don't say a single word. You bow down and you are the most talked about athlete in history. Never, ever, you can go back as far as you want. Have you ever heard a president or a vice president speak of somebody's name? By name, cursing at them. And then you're going to call the whole team mother bees. Call everybody's mother a beast. Y'all sons of bees. The people who chose not silence. Silence is golden. And sometimes you talk yourself right out of something. But here's the thing. That's my perspective. You know, me voicing my opinion. That's my perspective. Right. But we know perspective is projection. So if I'm looking at it, I'm going to project how I feel things are, the way that I look at it. Now, them saying what they're saying, to each his own. Educate yourself. Let's look. We all can read the Bible and get a totally different message.
That's true. That's why I like to ask people what they're seeing, how much, because some people it might be affected more than others, but we won't know if we don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Which brings me back to what I was saying at the beginning. How can I see something, I hear something, so I know what I saw and what I heard, and then the masses say, no, you didn't.
That wasn't that. That wasn't that. That wasn't that. You wouldn't. It wasn't yellow. It wasn't.
Right. And we believe
propaganda and programming.
And we
propaganda, it is attached to big moments, and that's a part of. I ain't gonna say I want to get in no trouble, but I mean, this is something. This is knowledge you can read. It's the origins of marketing. It's the origins of marketing and public relations, and this might have something to do with it or not. But an example in class of marketing, they wanted to start women smoking cigarettes. Let me just get to the point. And so in the past, only men smoked cigarettes. It wasn't for women. And when they said, okay, let's open our market, we made all the money we can make, let's get another customer, let's let it be the woman next to him. Let's let it be the single woman, and she can hold the cigarette. Long story short, when New York had a very big Thanksgiving parade that they have every year, you know, a big moment in time, they had 7 to 8 ladies in the scantily clad walk down the street together and post on the corner of this parade and take out a cigarette and light the cigarette. And I mean, this was on news all over. This is America. This is the way that they deal with programming. And they said, and it was like taboo for women to put their lips to a cigarette. And that was how they opened that door, just to sell cigarettes. Just to sell cigarettes, you guys. So that brings me to the topic of them using rappers and other entertainers to be the face of their movements that these Black people do not own.
Well, watch this though. We had an introduction. Do you remember the dress? Is it blue or is it gold? You remember everybody's trying to figure out what color was the dress for a minute? That was like going around a few years back. And my whole thing, this is all, like you said, propaganda. It's mind games. How weak is your mind? And it's all, and I look at it as like a jury. If you're in there, you got 9 jurors that's saying they're guilty, and you got 1 that's saying they're innocent. Their job is to persuade that 1, right or wrong, to get a guilty verdict. But if they have a strong mind and they like, I don't see what you guys see, y'all ready to get out of here. You're rushing because you ain't got time, but you are ready to put a man, and we know what color that man is, behind bars based off of convenience. Come on, man. How strong is your mind? I challenge people to read it for yourself, gain the knowledge. You're in your house, educate your children, your offsprings, because that's our future. And let them know, hey, read this for yourself. You know, gain your own knowledge, gain your own ideas. Tell me what you think. Not allow this, like, you know, social media to be like, oh, okay, to influence your thoughts that are controlling somebody's life. This is somebody's livelihood. And it's like, wake up. And like you said with the shoes, yeah, I get that they like boycott the NBA. We're supposed to be boycotting the NFL. What happened there? Why didn't Ye, or when he was Kanye, jump on that bandwagon that was already started? Why didn't you go attach a trailer to Collins' wagon? No, you left him by himself. So it's like every man for himself. Come on, man. And that's us, every man for himself, instead of unifying and saying, hey, this is not okay.
We got another hip hop culture specialist, David from the Midwest, tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in tonight on the yay or nay topic. So we want to ask you, because we definitely want to hear different points of views of how it's being brought to us through our phones. You know, we wouldn't even know this stuff, right, if it wasn't for that phone in our hand. Sure, the news might have covered it, but let's just ask you the general question for the show, which is yay or nay. And you can answer however you like.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I first want to start off with, okay, being that I have a son that's bipolar. Okay. And knowing what comes with that. So I understand Kanye when he's all over the place. And when you have grown people that has that type of disability, they don't have, they have to make the decision to take the medicine themselves. So you can't force them to do it and none of that stuff. So we have that issue, right? Mm-hmm. But we also got to remember that Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Elon Musk are all considered crazy too, because they all have some type of mental or something going on, right?
Right. Because I remember a few of them have autism. Not to interrupt, but go ahead.
Right. They have different issues, right? But to get to the point of yay or nay, and I'm gonna say like Mel, it's a both. It's a little of both, right? Because he said some things that, as far as the George Floyd thing, he said that basically off of what Candace Owens put in that documentary. So he just repeated that, a documentary that Candace Owens put together, or whoever her people is, right?
Okay.
So that's one point, right? He just regurgitated that, just like Kyrie posted a video, and mind you, Kyrie never said anything, right? He just posted a video of Hebrews the Negroes that is actually sold on Amazon Prime, which nobody's talking about, right? Nobody's talking about Amazon Prime and why it's actually is selling on their platform.
Right.
So they want to, punish.
Been there for years too.
Yeah, they want to punish, our black people when they talk about it, but they're not gonna punish the people that's actually putting it out, the ones that actually own the shit. They don't, excuse my language, don't make no sense, right? Mm-hmm. So yay or nay, both, right? I mean, because like you said, the whole Hebrew Israelite is a whole deeper conversation that a lot of Christians ain't ready for, mm-hmm. right? So you got that. So that's the separation where the pushback's gonna come, because a lot of people aren't educated all the way to the fullest to understand what he was talking about. So it went over a lot of people's head, and they just went straight to anti-Semitic stuff and try to destroy him. And they do that on purpose, because it's just like the old slavery days, right? When you get the biggest, blackest man and we pull him out in front of all the slaves, and you get to beating him and raping him and doing whatever you want to him to show him you don't do that. This is what we are. This is 2022, about to be 2023. This is the modern day way they do it now. Period. We looked at Nick Cannon, who before he got his lashing, was about to put out a Dr. Sebi movie, right?
Wasn't.
Right. He was about to put out a Dr. Sebi movie. And then he said what he said, and then he went on a whole apology tour. And you see why he's still on TV, because he apologized, right? And he didn't do he doesn't do the Dr. Sebi movie no more. That's been tabled, So he's still in the game. And my problem is with us as blacks, we're still separated because of slavery and all the other stuff that's Jim Crow and whatever else you want to pour in there. We're still dealing with that. So it's hard for us to come together, because we're in America, and we got here and they separated us. Matter of fact, let me even go back. I just got back from Africa, right? Mm-hmm. And they tell me when I'm in that slave quarters, and they explaining how they separated each tribe. So if you're in a cell during slavery, this is what they did in slavery. When you were in a cell, the other slave people in there didn't speak your language. They got different tribes in there. Mm-hmm. So you were in there with a different tribe of black person that you couldn't speak to. They did that on purpose to stop rebellion, to get us over to America without no problems. You know what I mean? Because if you got a bunch of them the same tribe in there, they're gonna talk, right?
Right. And they're gonna plot.
Yeah. So the separation started then. So it's hard for us to get it back. And it's gonna be a struggle until and the thing is they're waking. The problem is that they got now is they're putting it right in everybody's face, and the smartest of us all are like, wait a minute, y'all really gonna do this right in front of us?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really gonna do this right in front of us? Like we can't see.
Right. I thought it was quite exposing who they are too. I'm like,
right.
They want to act like they mad about, it does expose character.
Yeah, and then you got to remember that Amazon right now is in a deal with they're going through contract negotiations with the NBA. They already got Thursday Night Football, the $1 billion contract with the NFL for the Thursday Night Football. They're in contracts with the NBA right now. But that's why they're not saying nothing. They're not saying nothing about Amazon. You know what I mean? They're not gonna say nothing. They got they got these contracts they dealing with. And like Candy said, excuse me, Reign, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
When people are when you work for another business, you're under contract.
Yeah.
So Kyrie and them know that.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. That's why he didn't take the jab. And another thing that they're not talking about too is, do you realize Kyrie was right? They have to back pay Kyrie because of the New York Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Supreme Court said everybody that got laid off for COVID jab stuff has to be repaid. Kyrie won. He sat out a whole year. This is why Kyrie's getting taxed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, but I mean, that's just my little bit of spew as far as the yay or nay. It's a little bit of both. It's nay because he talked crazy, but that's bipolar. I get that. You know what I mean? My son's bipolar. I get why he's all over the place. I get when he sees a documentary and he runs with it, or he said something out of pocket like slavery was a choice because he didn't articulate what he actually was trying to say well. You know what I'm saying? He does it a lot, but that's because of his condition and because of his education too.
And they only gonna show us what they want us to see.
That's another thing.
But we all come together on that one agreement, knowing that. And I said it earlier. Don't forget these are actors. Don't forget Kyrie has a great movie they did in Hollywood. He didn't do that in Tyler Perry studio. Not that that's much different, but he didn't do that independently. So they know him and he know who he worked for, just like Kanye. And as a hip hop culture specialist, I just want to tell the viewers that do take the time to watch this, that we have to be very careful the faces of these agendas. Because with us coming together and you being able to add that business aspect that Amazon and NBA is in the beginning of a negotiation, there we go again with what I was talking about earlier, Mel, with that public relations. You know what I'm saying? And how they do market to us. Simply just to sell something, So
Kyrie, I'm gonna need you to go out there and when you're doing your post interview, I need you to say the word Amazon. I don't care how many times you need to say it. Oh, I got one even better. I'm gonna go post this video I've been wanting to watch from Amazon Prime. I'm gonna put it on Twitter.
Same thing with we dealing with the murder aspect of the gangster rap, I guess I could say, because hip hop is a culture like we all know here, and the rap has all these subcultures now, right? So that's another thing that a lot of conspiracy theorists don't even think half of these artists have even passed away. That this is a new thing. Let's go back to Ye. Let's go back even more to Prince, and let's go back to Michael Jackson. And I say that to say, where was I going with that?
R&B.
They sell a lot more once passed away. A lot more money is made in that. What I wanted to say is kill the character. I'm gonna just call it that. There's a conspiracy theory about killing the character because, when we was coming up, Maz, and doing my career, it was just all about just the music, the streets, the song. But then when the business came in, they did, one of the top secrets was to make your name a business.
Right.
Make your name a business.
Which it already is.
Right. So, which it already is. But even also your signature, your pseudonym, your signature, your nickname, make your name. And then now business can deal with business. And the person is left out. You know what I mean? Corporate, America loves that corporate being separate than the people.
We're in a capitalist country, yeah.
It always makes sense to me as an independent artist. It would make sense because now business can deal with business instead of business dealing with the old emotional artist who wants to do this and fly over where now business is dealing with a business. That's all I wanted to say. And these educational points that we can help the younger people with, or like I said, all ages that view our shows, we can offer the advice Mel gave, and that was to read, to observe, to study, to learn.
That's
you know what I mean? And that's what we got to do a lot more research. If something that you feel passionate about, and I'm just giving advice now to the viewers, then you should take the time out when you have time, when everything else that you want to do is done. Because right, these are distractions, right? We got stuff to do in life. So you take the time and do some reading. Anything you want to add, Mel? Anything you want to add?
When you do the reading, please let it be literacy research and not just off of social media what somebody else said.
Right. And also, can I say one thing too? For us as Black people, we got to stop reacting to sound bites. We got to start listening to the whole interviews before we start making opinions and start going crazy on social media, which I think we need to get off social media altogether, but that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But without it right now, it'll kind of stunt our businesses. So we need it.
Right, because business to business, it is so good for everybody, in the world. And that's true. And it should be cut down to that if it could.
But we gotta start sieving through the BS, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to start using social media for what it's meant for. Well, I don't even know if it's really meant for that, but we got to use it for what it needs to be meant for to better our people. We got to use it to push our people towards that direction that they need to go to get our unity back, so we can bring back Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, I heard Baltimore got a Black neighborhood that's all Black people that nobody talks about too. They say they have one right now that's a neighborhood full of Black stores and stuff, but I haven't really read up more about it. But we just need to get back. We just need to get back to trying to push our people towards solidarity.
Right. In Georgia, there's a area, Stonecrest, Georgia, that has a Black Wall Street. We went the other night. It is a whole business area. We went in, it's a mall, and we went in and it was all Black businesses, just like going through the Southern Park Mall there in Ohio, and just all Black businesses. It was really nice to be a part of it. When you come in, you greeted by an announcement, talking to you, just a little melanin added to it. But there's also an area there that has the same intentions. Stonecrest, Georgia. Yes, that's the place that does that. And I appreciate you guys sitting with us tonight on this topic. It's true, we do need to come together as a community, just to.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but
you're right.
What you say about the coming together, no matter religion, no matter what you believe in, right? No matter what you believe in, we all Black. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with a whole nother problem. Right. So we got the differences as far as what you believe in is what you believe in. You're going to die by yourself believing in what you believe in. So we got to stop worrying about what other people believe in and start getting to what's going on in reality right now. You know what I mean? And looking at what's going on in reality with all our kids killing each other. And well, let me just say this about the kids killing each other. What we have, if Mix, I don't know if you ever listened to the audio book, The Way of the Superior Man, but I suggest women and men listen to the audio book. It's on YouTube. The Way of the Superior Man. Listen to it. It speaks to masculine and feminine energy. It speaks to how men have masculine and feminine energy and women have masculine and feminine energy. But it explains it so eloquently on how to use it in the right way. Because what's going on now with our kids that's killing each other is that we have a bunch of emotional men making emotional decisions through their feminine energy. They're not using masculine energy. Masculine energy is all logic. So when men are in these situations, disagreements, or whatever it is that they're killing each other over, they're making emotional decisions. A logical person is not going to kill nobody over no stupid stuff. You know what I mean? You're making a illogical decision because you're in your emotions. So we got to look up the book. Everybody go listen to The Way of the Superior Man and try to learn how to use your masculine and feminine energy in the right way. And don't let your feminine energy take over men, because that's why you are failing and you are killing each other and making crazy decisions, because you are making decisions through emotion, not logic.
And that's one of the agendas that they push in our entertainment and our music, using the face of our, again, just to bring it back.
It's all emotional. It's all emotional.
Yeah. And they play into that agenda because even women are more using our masculine.
Y'all know me. Hold up, man. How many times did you say the title of that thing? Did they pay you, bro?
No.
An agenda for this thing.
I was thinking about Kyrie myself. I was like, that's what Kyrie
said. You just put all my folks on, bro. You know what I'm saying? From one OG to the next OG, bro. Good looking.
No, I got you.
I see it. I'm down here, bro. I'm down here in the heart of ATL. I see the feminine energy in the dudes, bro. I'm looking at them like, what's wrong with these cats?
That and another problem is and this is what I try to explain to Melissa about her son, is when we have so many women raising single moms raising kids, the boys are not getting enough masculine energy around them. This is what the problem is. And it goes back to slavery, when they started breaking us up and making us do this stuff. So, and I don't want to get into men leave the relationship, all that stuff. It is what it is. But the point is, we got a lot of men that's being raised by single women, and they're all emotional. They're all emotional. They're making a lot of emotional decisions about a lot of stuff, and it hurts a lot of them, especially when they go out killing people.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm one of them little boys that was raised by a single.
Me too.
Lady. And I promise you, OG, I look to the streets for that. And I tell my baby all the time, I looked for that adult male role model that I could look up to. Mars, I couldn't find it, bro.
It's hard now.
I couldn't find it in my hood. I couldn't find it. You know what I'm saying? Hard. When I realized that person was me, all that time that I was looking for it was me, it changed everything, man. It did. Yes, I do. I feel for the youngins, you know what I'm saying? 16, 17, 18, 19 in the barrels that y'all at, man. Y'all got mental issues. You know somebody that got mental issues. Please speak up. Please speak up. It's mental hotlines, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go letting your friend just do some dumb shit. Don't do that. That's not a good friend. That ain't a good friend. You let your friend just jump off the bridge. Now how cool it was you? That's your friend. Now you crying. You let your friend. Come on, man. We gonna let Kanye jump off the bridge? No, somebody's gonna stop him. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, West, Mr. West. We gonna call you Mr. West now. Hold on, bro. You tripping? Not off the bridge. We as a community need to speak up, like how you said. You are dealing with mental issues in your own household. So it's several hundred, I'm gonna say 1,000 Americans who can relate to that sensitive issue. We all need to come on one accord. We all need to find out what tribe we really from. Like you said, we all Black. They had all these Black people in these cells mixing them up so they couldn't talk and communicate with each other. That's what it is now.
What you got, Mel?
It is right now.
Since you were talking about that, are you going to let somebody jump off the bridge and speak up? And you said it's a hotline. I want to give this number out because I got to do what I do.
I'm going to give
there's a text that you don't have to call to 1-800. You could just text 988. It's open 24 hours a day. Wow. Just 988. Just text that and you'll have somebody there that you can talk to.
Nice. 988, just a text. Awesome. And wasn't there a recent event you were part of? Was that this evening? Was it yesterday?
It was this evening, and it was repeat offenders.
Okay. Tell us about that.
repeat offenders, you look at it thinking like it's an inmate, kind of like what you were talking about. Well, there actually was an inmate who did 26 years and he was supposed to do life. But God was like, nah, it's time to come on. You didn't sat down long enough. But the repeat offender was not just for that. It was like, if you keep being attracted to the same type of guy, if you keep being in a relationship, an emotional relationship, which is not okay, and then you find the next person and they're exactly the same, or let's say if your upbringing was different and it's like, why do I keep dealing with this same type, the same type of people? Or if I was raised in poverty, it's like, why am I continuing to be impoverished? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it pretty much was about. And it was just different scenarios, testimonies, talking about what they've gone through. But the one thing that really stuck out to me was when that guy who actually with the repeat offender, and he said exactly what you said, Mix. You were looking for that person. And he said, I was looking for that person. He said the person that he went to, it was the street. He got put out of his house at 12 years old. His stepdad put him out. So there was a man there, but guess what? Oh, that's, it's like, oh, okay, well, he 12 years old, your son need to go. So clearly, and this is just what I got from him. He didn't go into detail. Stepdad, your mom was like, okay, we're living with him. And he said, you got to go and you have to go. So you have a single mother who got married and put this 12-year-old boy out there. So the streets is who raised him. And then he shared how he continued to offend other people.
Right.
The lifestyle that he was in, into he was like, I offended a lot of people. He said, so right now, he said, I'm at a place where I'm trying to right my wrongs, and reach out to the youth, because he was the youth. And he said he offended other people and probably their mother. You know what I mean? It's like, well, let me try to help you, let me embrace you guys, because I've actually been there. And he shared that he was actually molested, but he didn't have anybody to talk to. So again, that number, the text, the number 988.
So that is for, is that a suicide line or just a line of just to talk about anything?
It's suicide and counseling. So whatever. And that's what he said. He was like, he didn't have anybody to talk to because he was being molested. And then when he, and then you get put out, like, come on. So he ended up selling drugs, and there was some people died and all that extra stuff. And he was life in prison.
Life in the streets.
And 26 years, he got out righting the wrongs. And that's what that was about. Repeat offenders, just people just dealing with certain things and thinking they're getting out, but they find themselves in that same situation because they refuse to go to counseling.
Wow. So back to just to sum up everything, I really wish we could imagine a day where we could, take the stuff we see on the internet and actually use it to our benefit and maybe believe it, and maybe it would be true. And Kanye was a true leader, and that we could boycott Adidas and all the companies that went against them. Because like, I was just thinking how hurt people just hurt people. And you guys are just saying that. And that goes even into corporations. This type of entity that would do this to another group of people obviously is hurt. Right. And we said that we as melanated people are emotional. So we are, again, because we are blessed like that, we're going to sit back and watch this pass too, because this too shall pass. And I really hope that the world does learn from it. And I'm so glad you guys came talk with us tonight. So with that being said, Mel, you got any shout outs before we leave out?
I do. I got a shout out to David when he was saying how, using the platform, using social media in the proper way. Here's what's interesting. And it's almost like shopping if you look at it, what department you need to go to. So you have the store is open. The problem is you'll have somebody doing something positive, but they don't like that. So you get 2 likes, 3 likes, they're not sitting there like, okay, well, maybe I'll check this out. It's all the drama and all the negativity. So when you said you were talking about Ye, and it was like, is this a publicity stunt? What is because we don't know. Right. But again, I encourage people to use the platform to your advantage. Use it properly. Right. Even though we know, I believe it was designed for a disadvantage, but I wish we had it back in the day because we'd be millionaires.
Right. Right, y'all. So definitely the strongest message, one of the many strongest messages, text 988 if you're having any emotional distress and counseling. David, could you tell us that book that is streaming on YouTube for free?
I got it enough.
What is it? Well,
it's called The Way of the Superior Man.
She messed me up, bro.
The Way of the Superior Man. So it's a good read for me and Mel could probably check it out while we jog and taking a walk too.
And the bottom line of it is get control of your energies, your masculine energy and your feminine energy, especially the men with their feminine energy. You got to get control of it because that is where you're making the bad decisions at. You can't make major decisions through emotion.
Hey, right. That's deep. My son just told me today, man, how you be doing that? It's like, doing what? And my car just went down. Y'all know I got a 2013 Cadillac CTS 2-door. Ooh, it's hurting right now. So I ain't been letting that change the way of my feng shui, right? Mm. So my son say, man, I say, you just can't let stuff change the way of your day. And actually, I've been saying that so long. She said it to me today. I let something get to me. You know what I'm saying? Change my, so each one teach one. Male, as you go on your journey, don't let nothing change the way of your day. Your day is pre-wrote. You know what I'm talking about? You too, Mars. Don't let nobody change the way of your day, bro. It's pre-wrote and already set for destiny. You feel what I'm talking about? You get a flat tire, that was supposed to happen. Don't get mad. Just know that, I gotta break this lug so I can get that rim off. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get going.
Don't get upset.
And but it's just an hour we've been on. It's been awesome. So Mel, the name of your YouTube page, Shop Talk with Mel, all one word. Also Instagram, Shop Talk with Mel.
She said that dang on all the platforms.
Okay. Okay, so easy to find. Just Google it. Once you conquer that many, social media handles, all you gotta do is Google it. Okay.
Yeah, you can Google at Shop Talk.
You tapping in, brother. Represent for Midwest the Thought. We appreciate the news. We're gonna head out, and you know what I'm saying, every Sunday we'll be having a panel like this. So next Sunday y'all want to pop in, have a few more people in, come on through. November is Hip Hop History Month. I encourage you, if you see any children that are listening to rap music, that they do Google it. Tell them about it so they'll know that there's rules to this game.
I got a shout out. Shout out to Salt and Pepper. They finally got this Hollywood star.
I saw that. Okay. Okay. Yes. Shout out to them. We used to go see them when they came near to our city. Me and Mel would drive out, check them out. Well, they was on tour with R. Kelly. When they was on tour with R. Kelly, that was our last chance getting to see them do their thing. And so, hip hop history before we leave out. All right, y'all.
Next Monday is hip hop's birthday. That'll be November 12th. So if y'all want to go get a little cake or a cookie or something, rap happy birthday hip hop on there, you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong. Until next time, we'll slap you later.
Peace.
Hey.
What's going on? In your lap, don't break it closer to home. Fucking on policies that all that's wrong. Some stuff that bother you, they bother me too. We as a community gotta do what we do. Waiting on the outcome, what's wrong with you? Speak up, be heard. This is more than just words. It's a million people out here feel just like you. We out here living our life, doing the best we can.
I'm telling you, we should finish that song.
That's what's happening on that. We out here living our life the best we can. Just don't give a damn.
The birth right there.
Okay.